Hey, what's up guys? It's Magic Addicts here, and I have another review for you guys. This is a review for the Vintage Plaid US Regulation playing cards from dananddave.com. And you can see I've got a bunch of them here. I got 3 of each color, and I got 1 of each color signed by Dan and Dave. Here's the sealed ones, and here are the open ones. So let's get into the review. We will talk about the box first. So you got 2 different colored decks, which means 2 different colored boxes. Now the orangish colored one, which they call the Arizona Red deck, has the green box here. And the California Blue one, that's what they call it, has the kind of beige tan colored box. And the boxes are really nice. I like to keep cellophane on a lot of the boxes because just to protect them, but this one I'm not, because I really like the feel of it. It's a leatherette box, so it's probably hard to see, but there we go. You can see the bumps, and it looks kind of like leather, which is what it's supposed to look like. And so I think that's really cool. It gives it a nice kind of feel to it, and I really like that. And they did that for the green one also. So there you can see that. And the backs of the box are the back designs, as you can see. And at the bottom of them it says Made in the USA. Now on the sides it says the D&D Playing Card Company, Los Angeles, California. And the other side says Fine Playing Cards for Gentlemen. And so you can also see that that has the number 1, and at the top it says number 1. And on the side of the green one you have 2 and number 2 on the top. So there's that, and at the top it also says poker. And you've got a custom seal on here. It says Play Fair. The seal was kind of off-centered, so when I opened it, it kind of got messed up. But you can see it a little better there. So it says Play Fair. I like that it has a custom seal. And when you open the box, you see it says Bad Luck is Bad Play. And also the bottom of the box, it has some copyright information and information about the deck. So the box, I really like it, and like I said, I love the leatherette that they put on it. And for the box, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I have no problems with it. I really like it. Now, let's talk about the cards. We'll talk about the Arizona Red deck first. So at first, you will see that you get these 2 extra cards. You don't get a double backer or a blank face, instead you get these. This one is sort of a crossword, and it says poker on that side is circled, and then on this side hunting is circled. So that's really interesting. And this one is a kind of a recipe for an alcoholic drink, and that's pretty cool. And you also have these 2 jokers, and there's actually a joker reveal, which we don't see often from Dan and Dave. I don't know this for sure, but I think this might be the first Dan and Dave deck to have a reveal. And so you see it's a buck, and this one has an ace of spades in the head. So I think that's really neat, and I'm really glad that they put that in there, because I love joker reveals, and they become very useful for doing tricks. So that's a really nice addition to the deck. Now we'll talk about the back design. So the back design is a plaid design, and it's pretty unique. I don't think I've seen a plaid deck before, and I really like it. So this one, they've incorporated a bunch of different colors. There are there's orange, black, tan, there's just a bunch of different colors. Those are the main colors. And there's something cool about the deck, and that's, if you look at it like this, from that angle, you can see that most of it, the black really pops out, and then at this angle, the orange really pops out. So I think that's really cool. And I'm not sure if Dan and Dave knew that that was happening with the design, but I think that they did because it's also on the blue deck. That happens also. So that's really cool, and I really like it. So the back design, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It's really innovative, I think, because I've never seen a plaid deck before, and I really like the colors that they used. It's a nice contrast of colors, and it's just really cool. And they made a borderless deck, which not many of the recent releases are, because people usually like a bordered deck, but like the B decks, this is a non-bordered deck. So it looks pretty cool in fans. With the design, I don't really like how a B deck looks in fans, but this I really like. You've got like a kind of a spirally type of thing going in there. So that's really cool. Now let's talk about the design of the faces. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it really goes well with the vintage theme and the outdoorsy kind of theme. So the faces, instead of being white, they're actually off-white, and I will compare it to a bicycle deck. So you can really see the difference if you really look at it in comparison. But when you have the deck in your hands, you can definitely see the difference. It's a noticeable difference between the whites, and the court cards are recolored slightly to be a more vintage kind of look, and I really like that. So the off-white was a nice choice, and I'm really glad that they did that. I think it's really cool. And so you see that the card it's kind of an and the reds are orange and the blacks are green, and the yellows are the beige kind of color, or tan color, not exactly sure, and it's really, really cool. So the court cards are not custom, but they are recolored. Now we have the Ace of Spades. It's a really simple Ace of Spades, and the bottom says the D&D Playing Card Company. So it's just a big spade there, and it's just like the Magicon deck. The Ace of Spades is pretty much the same from what I can see, so they really look similar. So it's nothing really special and nothing new. So the red pips are actually, they look very orange. I'll compare it to a bicycle deck here. So we'll compare. You can definitely see that the pips on it are more of an orange color. I'm not exactly sure if they're orange, but they look like they are. So the design I really like. The faces are pretty cool. The vintage look I like, so I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I just don't really like the Ace of Spades, and it's been used on the Magicon deck. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but it looks pretty much the same. So now we'll talk about the feel of the deck and the stock and finish. This has the cambric finish, and Dan and Dave do not usually release what the stock is on the deck, but to me it feels like B Casino. I'm not exactly sure about that, but that's just what it feels like to me. So I really like it. It feels nice, and it's a pretty thick stock, and it gives it a nice spring. So you've got a thick stock, but it's not too thick, and it feels nice in the hands, so spreads feel really nice, and things like that. The only problem that I have is that fans, it doesn't really fan very well, in my opinion. The cards sort of clump up and not all the cards show, so that's one bad thing. But not much else is bad. I really like how it feels. It spreads well, and I like how it looks in spreads and fans. The colors are really cool, and the borderless design makes it look very interesting. And for dribbles, it dribbles really nicely, springs really nicely. You can get a pressure fan pretty well. So for the feel of the deck, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. My only problem is that it doesn't fan very well, but that's not a huge problem because it doesn't fan badly, it's just not perfect, and it's not like some of the other decks that I've used. But I really like the thickness of the stock and that it's springy. So now let's talk about the design of the blue deck. They call this the California Blue deck. So you've got these two same cards here, and you've also got the same jokers. So all of the faces are the same, except that the court cards, instead of the blues being green like on the Arizona Red deck, the blues are blue here, and they don't look to be recolored or deepened or anything, but the other colors are the same. It's that orange color and the tannish beige kind of color. So very similar to the Arizona Red deck. Now the only difference is the back design pretty much. And the back design is another plaid design, as you can see, and it's got a couple different shades of blue. There's a deeper blue and a lighter blue, and there's also a brown color and a tan color there. So I like the shades of colors that they used here. And again, you can see this way that it shows more of the blue this way and more of the brown this way. So I think that's pretty cool. And again, it looks pretty nice. I don't think it looks as good as the red deck, but that's just my opinion. I prefer red decks over blue, like bicycle decks. So it's pretty much a personal preference. So some of you guys may like the blue deck better. But if you're going to order these cards, I definitely recommend that you buy them both, because they go well together. And if you really like these cards, you're going to get a brick. It comes with a custom brick box, so that's really cool. And so I do recommend these cards. My only main problem is that they don't fan great, but that's not a huge problem because they still fan. So that's been my review of the vintage plaid decks from Dan and Dave. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up and comment and subscribe, and check out the links in the description. Thank you for watching.